Hello and welcome to Stage 5 of the 2022 Formula 1 Belgian Grand Prix event. We're going to do a lot in this video. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab some instant servicing because I waited a full day since my M dollar amount was maxed out at that ridiculous ceiling, so I wanted to wait and bank more M dollars. Okay, so that's one thing. I show you in a different video that I like to save those for times like this, or times maybe you want to blast through an exclusive series in one sitting, or you want to just go for the weekly time trial and you want to just get it all done and get 100 attempts in without having to service. I do that. This car is surprisingly good with basically no tires, like totally cold tires. You got to be careful, see it can step out on you, so that'll still happen. We're going to do a lot of skipping through things today. I'm not going to go through full stages because they're pretty long and I'm not going to bore you guys. So we're going to do some coverage, whip him out of there. It was a little bit sketchy, wasn't it? I'm not sure what they would, what the regulators would say about that, but I think I honestly just lost my back end there. Anyhow, he shouldn't have been there. It was his fault. It was my overtake. Oh well. So, something I was asked about is why am I driving this event so insanely fast? Because these are really boring for me. They're really easy and they're pretty boring for me. These events are designed so that the average person can pass them. So I'm talking people who, like if you're in your weekly time trial tournaments, that's like your people who are in Group D or Group E. So they're pretty easy. There we go, lawnmower mode, whipping into the wall. And yeah, I kind of had fun with some of that stuff. So we're going to follow some of this through just so you can see what I'm doing with my tires here. Oh, I got a hit. That wasn't very nice of you. So yes, they designed these events to be quite easy. So they want it so that if you buy the upgrades, you're basically going to get the car. So that's why I don't do any bot slowing. I do the opposite. I run really fast because I want the bots to get as difficult as possible. And so even doing things like going off track to get my lap times even lower should get my bots set as hard as they can possibly be set. And also I like to get first place as much as I can because I'll get better earnings, right? The higher you finish, the more earnings you get, and well, I'm just kind of bored. Now, when it comes to recommended PR events, like the upcoming Ferrari Daytona SP3, then you want to do bot slowing. You want to be careful. Some people say that bot slowing doesn't matter anymore. I have not found that. I found that the algorithm is still working. Not sure why. Sometimes people get the similar targets to me. There could be multiple variables. One of these days I might test it. It's just it can really get me in a bad position where I can end up with my bots all jacked up with no way to slow them down. Because the only way to slow down bots is you have to be at or above at or above the PR requirement. So it gets a little bit troublesome. Now we're going to warp ahead here right away because there's another whole lap and why bother? You can see I was about to get into second place. I had no trouble hitting first by doing cutting and all that sort of jazz. So yeah, I've been rushing through this. I don't really do bot slowing in these types of events. And this gets a little bit interesting. This one. Someone else got upset about this. Set the fastest lap. Some people were saying how it was doing it incorrectly. Okay, well, look at my timer. See how it's not moving? Well, that's just my lap timer, but obviously the race timer is moving. We just can't see it. So the time at the end of this race, I'll show you, it's going to be for the entire race. And then, I forgot to look, but if I would look at my individual lap time, it would be lower. It would show my fastest lap is going to be a lot lower than that. But my total race time is based on from when I got control of this car, basically. So here's my timed lap, and we're going to zip through this at 16 times regular speed because it's kind of boring. But come out of it, and it wasn't great, so I did a big skid. So this time right here, that's just my overall race time. That's not my best lap, which again, I forgot to check. But there you go, that's the explanation for that. Now, get into 5th place. Well, that sounds kind of boring, especially when I've got, 2.5 laps to go? Like, 5th place is all you want of me? I'm pretty sure we can do more than that. Now, do I try to do this honestly, or do I just cheat? And yes, I'll admit, doing lawnmower mode in regular racing like this, sure, we can call it cheating if we want to. It's allowed, I'm not penalized. In time trials, yeah, you can't get away with that. Definitely not. In weekly time trials, interestingly enough, when the penalty system first came out, you could do this, and the penalty was not enough to make it not worth your while. But that quickly got adjusted so that you really can never cut in a weekly time trial and have it to be of benefit. Online multiplayer, that's a different case. There's a little trick there that you see people using where basically if you get 2 tires off track, you don't really get the penalty. So that's how people are getting around that. I'll share that so we're all on equal playing field. That yes, if you take a big off-track cut and you keep 2 tires on track, you can pay down your penalty that way and still get all the speed benefit. The reason why that works is because of how it considers what it considers off track and on track. Okay, 4 tires off track, obviously off track. So that's when your car is going to drastically slow down. But 2 tires off track, for gameplay, it doesn't penalize you with any speed loss. It does penalize you with your braking distances being longer. It doesn't penalize you with any speed loss. It does wear down your car's durability quicker. So that's why in online multiplayer, if you have 2 tires on track and 2 tires off track, it's basically acting like, it's kind of weird. It seems to be this weird in-between setting. So doesn't seem to be a way to fix that. Now, not a lot of people can make it worth their while. Anyhow, we're just going to end this one right here. Obviously, I mean, a lot of this, I got first place. I cheated. I got first place. Here's where it gets funny. Try to get up to 3rd place. I think I was just in 1st place. So let's just say that they penalized me 2 places. Or what am I in right now? 5th place. Okay, we'll say they gave me a penalty of 5 places because I did a bunch of overtakes illegally. And that actually makes sense, right? You got to give it back. Now this one gets interesting. We're going to skip ahead a lap. So I got a little bit of drafting in. And I'm here in 3rd place. And I just get all tangled up. And it's like, oh no. Where's the 1st place car? And I'm not quite sure, like 4,000 Roman cubits. I probably could get that done in about 1/3 of a lap. Because it's not the meters yards isn't the unit of measurement. You probably know that by now. So I thought, you know what? I better do lawnmower mode here and just try to catch up to 1st place if wherever he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, well, I probably didn't need to do that. That won't be very difficult at all. Okay, let's see if I can get really hooked up. How long does this take? Now I got to be careful because he's going to be he brakes really heavy at that corner, even brakes here at Puan corner. So I'm going to do a little bit of lifting. I don't want to smash him because that's when I'm going to lose him. Building up that drafting pretty quickly. Oh, got a little bit unhooked. Okay, let's get this. You know what? Let's just stay hooked up. I'm going to have some fun with this guy. We're going to smash him into the last wall here. I want to see if I can get him stuck in the wall. It's difficult. If you can get him perfectly sideways and then slam him into the wall, he'll get stuck in that wall and he won't get out. We have an extraction feature. They don't. So can I do this? No, I'm too far away. Okay, well, I better be careful that I don't. I want my 1st place finish. Highly illegal. We would have both been, well, maybe not dead, but really hurt anyway. Oh, almost turned it right around. Zip right through this. Go for 1st place. Don't you mean defend 1st place? I was just in 1st place. Okay, tire degradation stage. You don't want to go off track, and you actually don't even want 2 tires off track because that'll wear it out quicker. So I'm going to really focus on, so on the curb, that's okay, but I'm going to really focus on keeping my tires on track and get up to 1st place here and then try to get a really big lead. Yeah, I shouldn't have had my tires off there. Now, with this much tire, you can drive very aggressively. So for this entire 1st lap, you can drive very aggressively. Now, the best place to pass the ball when you're at Radion is to his right, okay? So I'm going to do a lot of drafting, get on the right and watch. Woo! I slid down his side pretty good there. So that's the best place to pass a bot because oftentimes at Radion, they take you out. It's so annoying. And again, no lawnmower mode this time around. We're keeping this on track. I'm going to be at 90%. I don't think I have to baby it, but I want to be careful with this overtake. I'm going to be careful. Nice and clean overtake here. Hey, you can't complain about that. That was nice and clean. Okay, let's take this full throttle. I'm not sure if I want to take Puan full throttle. I'm going to do a little lift here. There you go. Just a little bit because Puan full throttle, you generally need full tires. They're really close. My other braking points, I'm going to be pretty normal. I'm taking 2 tires off a little bit here and there, probably more than I should. But you know what? 83% right now? I'm doing really good. I'm already getting a big lead. Now, we're not going to go through this whole thing, obviously. You know, I've told you that before. In fact, let's warp ahead right now. Check out how big of a lead I actually did get. So here my tires are at 80%, 43. And look at that lead. It's gargantuan. Hey, you know what that means? I've got a big enough lead to do some victory donuts. Now, I'm going to have to be careful. Got to keep my eye on that guy. I'm not going to change camera angles because I got to keep my eyes on this distance. Because he's going to be coming up here very fast. In fact, oh my gosh, he's right there. I don't want to do this again. Okay. There we go. There she blows. We finished that nicely. And look at that. I didn't waste all those M earnings. That was a lot. So there we go. Please like, please subscribe. Here's the playlist link. Upgrade costs are in video 1 in the first 30 seconds. I'll throw up some other videos that you might find interesting. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have some fun. Remember, invitational series are coming out in the next updates. Bye-bye now.